Hiya hustlers, welcome back to our channel. So I am Candy, one half of Candy and Kelly. You'll see me quite a lot on this channel over the next few videos, primarily as I'm talking about what we're doing with our life. For those of you who have followed along for a while, thank you for coming back and checking in, and for those of you that are new here, welcome. So we are essentially breaking free from the system, escaping the matrix as it were, and if you saw my last video, I want to make clear that we're not kind of following any narrative on the social norms that you're meant to follow and you're kind of escaping the matrix. We're not off grid, we're not anything like that, we're not kind of living in the woods or anything like that. Kudos to those that do that, I love all that stuff as well. We are just essentially living a normal life as best we can, but we're being very frugal. We don't work a traditional 9 to 5. We don't have any income currently. We're just living off our savings. So we've recently done all the van life stuff. We are renovating. I say still renovating. There's still lots of jobs to do around this house, but we've primarily done all that we need to do to get out of our van and get in the house. Now, we bought this house at auction. We are 42 and mortgage free, which I'm really proud of. It's a big achievement. So our outgoings are considerably lower than what they used to be, and I spoke on the last video about creating this life and what it means and some of the stuff that I was kind of missing from my previous life. I don't want to come across as negative or anything like that, so the things that I'm missing, you know, they will come back to us in some way, I'm sure. I don't feel that I'm losing out or missing out. I haven't got FOMO or anything like that. I'm enjoying kind of discovering myself, and I know that sounds really cheesy, so I wanted to talk a little bit about that today and some of the benefits that I've already noticed. So just a bit of context as well. So what we're trying to do is live alternatively. We're not doing anything out of the ordinary, or maybe we are, I don't know. Let me know what you think. I resigned from my position, a senior leadership position at a firm I was at for 25 years. I became disillusioned with the system. We wanted to get out of the rat race and just live for us, live differently. So we're essentially starting a homestead from scratch. We're really into our preparedness, frugal living. We're absolutely going to be on a budget. We want to do a lot of make, do, and mend, a lot of cooking, prepping, all that type of stuff. And I will start sharing more of that as well. But I think in this initial phase, as I said, I wanted to share some of the benefits that I've noticed. I'm still learning, as I said before, what this life is going to become and what it means for me and where I kind of fit into it. I'm used to working towards deadlines, I'm used to having projects, I'm used to having, and I'm not going to say purpose, because I do feel like I still have purpose. It's just there's no one standing behind me with a list, ticking it off and making sure that I'm doing what I'm meant to be doing. So there's a great deal of autonomy, and with that autonomy there comes a lot of freedom. And I wouldn't say I'm struggling with it, but I'm just really interested at the changes that I've already noticed in myself. I was suffering quite badly with burnout and fatigue and stress and anxiety before I gave up my role. I took some time out of work because I was quite poorly. I went through some extensive therapy sessions to try and kind of find myself, and here we are. So what I have noticed is that was about 12 months ago. I think officially resigned towards the back end of last year, so we're almost a year at officially resigning, but I was out for a bit because I was unwell. And I just can't say enough, I feel so well, physically and mentally, and it's like there's still a lot of stresses, there's still a lot of worries, and I've spoken about some of those on this channel, but I just feel great. The stresses are different. It's like we're managing them ourselves. Obviously a big stress is thinking about our financial future. We don't know what that looks like yet, but again, we're making investments, I say, with our savings into this house. For instance, and I will show you this at some point, we have just had our log burner installed, so we'll be able to manage heating and stuff like that. We want to get back into our prepping. the investments that we made into this house, although we've tried to do our best cosmetically and we're getting it livable into how we want it and to our style, we actually did invest in plumbing and electrics. So this house is good to go basically for the next God knows how long. So we don't have to worry about any of that. We could have just moved into the house and kind of camped in it essentially, but you know, we just want to get our life set up for what we want. We've got 1/4 acre, and I guess over the next few months we'll start to plan out growing our own and what we want to do in the garden. We've just got it back, as you've seen. We've kind of cleared the garden, so we've got a clean slate to start with. I don't think we're going to get a chance to get anything in this year. For one, we need a back fence because we're being overrun by rabbits at the moment. I say overrun, there's a small little warren near our back of our garden, and there's some really adorable little bunnies. I say adorable now when they're eating my weeds and they're playing about in the garden, and the cats are loving watching them, but they're not going to be so adorable when we're starting to grow and they're eating everything. So we need to deal with those, but that is the sort of stuff that I'm enjoying. I know I say a lot of the time I want to be out with nature and in the outdoors and everything, and I think that I've been doing a lot of that. I've been spending a lot of time, you know, with Mother Earth and outside and earthing and grounding and that type of thing, and I just think it's done wonders for my health. Like, look, we can see I'm overweight, right? I had a busy job where my lifestyle consisted of client drinks, work drinks, social drinks, and then at the end of the week you're rewarding yourself with a drink because you've had a busy week. You're rewarding yourself with takeaways because you've had a busy week. I've really cut down on my drinking. I've just not felt the need. I'm not teetotal. I love a drink. You'll see me, I watch the football, I love a beer. I might fancy a nice cold gin and lemonade or something like that. So I'm not saying I'm going teetotal, but I just haven't got that pressure. I might have one or two and then I think, yeah, that's me, Dana. And it's like, that's really changing. And I guess my identity was quite, I was quite sociable, outgoing, I liked to drink. I was always having a drink when we used to go out for work stuff. Not a drink problem, but you're in that scenario, you're in that kind of environment, and it's just what everyone does. And then you get to the end of the week and you think, right, I need to reward myself now. And we was having takeaways once or twice a week, and I can honestly say that we got the keys here in Feb, and without even trying, I'm a stone down already. I feel great, you know. I'm on medication for hypertension, so high blood pressure. My blood pressure is completely under control now, and it's completely gone down what it was. Also, and I do overshare, I think I've said that, so I do have a heart condition as well, a congenital heart condition, so I've had it since I was born. I have to go to a consultant in London. My last appointment, which was last month, the consultant said to me, what are you doing differently? Like, we don't need to send you for any follow-up tests, because normally I'd go for my consultation and then it'll be, right, we need a heart monitor for 24 hours, you need to do an MRI, you need an exercise test, just to keep on top of all these things. This time she was like, I'm really pleased that you've made the decision. So, you know, I was telling her we've changed our lifestyle. She said, I don't need to see you again till 2027. And I was like, wow. Like, so physically I'm feeling fantastic. Recently had a blood test, just due to, it was just a regular review, because of the medication that I'm on, just something that the GP does. Everything came back perfect. And I'm just thinking, the only change that I've made, obviously there's a lot of changes because my life is completely flipped upside down, but it's like I'm spending a lot more time outside. I'm not rewarding myself at the end of every week because I'm knackered and getting a takeaway. Now granted, we are a bit more rural, so there's not places where you can just go on Uber Eats and get them, but it's like don't feel like I'm depriving myself of these little treats. I just haven't felt the need for them, and that's really, really strange. The other thing, I'm sleeping so much better as well. I'm a lot more active. I feel like people might think, you haven't got a job, how are you busy? We are literally constantly busy. We've been so go since we gave up the 9 to 5. just trying to get our life in order really. But I just, we're as humans, we're not programmed to be in like ants. I was one of those ants, and I must sound to previous colleagues and friends, if you're watching this, I must sound like a complete hypocrite, because I was all about my work. My work was my identity, and that's where I'm struggling a little bit now, because I'm figuring out what my identity is, and I don't want to lose the core parts of my identity, but also I know that my life has changed so much that there is going to be some differences. The other thing I've noticed as well, which is amazing, I've got so much more patience. Now, not that I've never had a temper, I'm not that type of person, but like I would get irritable and frustrated quickly. I'm like, if we come across stressful situations now, I'm sort of like, right, okay, I'll work through it in my head. Kel and I'll have a chat, we'll get to the bottom of it, we'll figure it out. And it's just amazing how, oh, hang on. Let's drink this before it goes cold. And don't judge my tea, I'm a builder's tea kind of girl, very milky. I'm just enjoying time. Every single minute is not filled up with a deadline, or it's not filled up with something that needs to be done. There are jobs, don't get me wrong, that's life. But the jobs are different. Like I want to get back into my reading. I am literally so buzzing because the Women's Euros start today, and I absolutely love it, and I think I'm going to watch every match. Why? Because I love it, and that's what I want to do. They're in the evening. Normally I'd probably still be on my work phone discussing things, sorting shifts out for people, making sure people are all good, checking in on late requests and jobs. So I'm just going to watch them uninterrupted, and that is also something that I need to get to grips with. So I still have a little bit of the guilt, and am I selfish for putting myself first? Am I selfish for doing things that I want? I feel like I've got to be go, go, go all the time because I'm not doing the traditional job. But I'm learning, and I'm sure there are people that would love to be in my shoes right now, but that's the thing that also is frustrating to me, that everyone, like, we have had such amazing comments from such amazing people, and there was a couple of good comments on my last video and really articulated it well. We're not made for this. It's not that I'm trying to get away from work. I just want to live naturally. I want to live with the seasons. And actually, there's a Good Life episode where I'm really into Tom and Barbara. So there's a Good Life episode, which is an old 70s sitcom, I believe, in the UK. And they try to get up early, and they go to bed when the sun goes down, so they're going to bed early and trying to force themselves to sleep. But realistically, my previous life, I would be dozing off at 9:30, 10. We're up till like 10:30, 11, and still getting up at like 6 or 7, and I don't feel tired at all. And I really think that is, we're going with the seasons now, so when it starts getting dark outside, then we get a little bit tired and we go to bed, and when it's light, we're getting up. That is exactly what I want out of life, just something that's just more natural and that just feels right. And there's a lot of discovery to come, and I just want to keep chatting. I know I've said that it's like therapy talking to you guys, and it really is. It's just, I'm 42 years old, and I've lived a narrative that whole time, and now I'm trying to flip the narrative and live on my terms whilst discovering who I am at the same time. Some things that I used to be into, I probably just think I was living a persona that I felt like I had to be. I had to have this image, and like I spoke a lot when I was in my job about living your authentic self and that, and I did believe that, but actually now I believe that I'm becoming my authentic self, and the weight off your shoulders for doing that is immense. It's like I say, I'm losing weight without even trying. I've cut down my drinking. I feel healthy. I feel much better in myself. I'm sleeping better. All these changes, and that is down to nature. Like, I'm out in the fresh air every day. Yesterday I was doing kind of more grass cutting because I just thought, I'm going to get out, I'm going to get my steps up. There's quite a big garden that I've got to get done. I loved it. I loved the fresh air. And then you sit down in the evening and you feel not tired, but you feel worn, if you know what I mean. And that's a really rewarding feeling. But people say, and I think I was just going to say this about living your authentic self, and people say, oh, I wish we could do it, oh, you're so lucky, you want to make that change. You would literally not believe on paper how far I was into the system, how far we both was. You can make that change. If I can make that change, anyone can. I thought I'd be at my job for the rest of my life. I was part of the furniture. I was doing really well. I was getting accolades. I was getting praise. Something flipped a switch in me. I don't know if more people, and I don't want to use the term awake because that's a bit wanky, but it's true, a lot more people are waking up, and I think I'm one of those people. I wasn't put on this earth to kind of run myself into the ground, and that's what I was doing, and I don't want to do that anymore. And this is about exploring. This channel, I've said the last few weeks, it's going to really evolve. It's going to be about exploring what life is outside of the rat race. I don't even know what that's going to be. All I know is that we've gone through a lot of stress, we've gone through a lot of trauma, a lot of mental health stuff, a lot of physical health stuff, I guess you'd say. And we're making it through the other side. Nothing is as bad as you think. And I am really, really getting to a point where I think I actually feel happy. Which I haven't done for a long time. Living this life and this narrative and living this persona of who I'm meant to be, I'm actually really going to start exploring for myself what I'm meant to be. I want to live frugally. I want to take more care and more time with things that I'm doing. I want to get back into my cooking. I want to upcycle. I want to reuse. I want to not just go and be part of the throwaway society. I want to have a go at things ourselves. And yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot to kind of take in and a lot to figure out, but I feel like that's what I'm going to do, and that's what I'm going to share. And to say that if you want to make a change, you can make a change. Like, no one I know everyone's got different circumstances, but no one tell me that you can't make a change, because if I can do it, literally anyone can. And I hope that everyone's going to follow along and keep seeing what we're up to. And there's lots of stuff going on. We're going to evolve as people, and we're also going to show our tips and tricks. I'm going to show some recipes and some budget meal plans and all stuff like that. And I'm going to talk continuously about mental health and how important it is to be in the nature and the outdoors. But the system is not designed for us. Well, it's orchestrated for us because they want us to keep ploughing into the system, and then yeah, that's another, don't get me into that. But we are made to be outside. We're made to be in with Mother Earth and in with nature, and that's what I'm going to continue to strive for. And in as little as 12 months, well actually less than that, because we've only been here since February. Since February I've managed to turn my health and mindset around just by not even being conscious of it, just by living a different life. And I hope that people can follow along and we can inspire other people to make a change. If you're thinking about it, if you're thinking about getting out of the rat race and making a change, let us know in the comments. We love to hear all the stories, because it really invigorates us. It really gives us a bit of a boost as well. So thank you for joining me today on my little chats. You're going to probably get used to these. I'm going to talk a lot more, quite frank and open and honest discussions that I'm quite happy to have. I do want to share, and I will be sharing this week, later in the week, about everything that I've achieved, tangible things that I've achieved in the past 12 months since breaking free from the 9 to 5 and escaping the rat race. Because I can talk about my feelings and my mental health and all that all day long, but I thought it would be useful to show some tangible things that I can document and show that we have achieved. So I'm going to be doing that on the next video, so please do follow along. And if you like what you see and hear, I really appreciate subscriptions, people following along to the channel, liking and sharing what we've got. It's great to have a community of people out there that kind of believe in us and want to do what we want to do as well. So thank you all. I hope you have a great day. I'm going to finish my tea, and then I'm going to crack on with some more jobs on the homestead, and then I'm going to be settling in for the first 2 games of the Women's Euros. Right guys, I'll catch you on the next one, hustlers, and I'll see you in a bit.